hello there. You called me here for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Do you need help? Oh, okay. Okay, well, you want to join the Royal Guards. Well, listen, we have been friends for a very long time, and I'll be honest, I do think that is perhaps let's just say it's a very dangerous endeavour. Are you sure you want to go through with this? I would be very worried about you. I understand. You want to show your might. You want to show the king that he can lean on you as another man, with support within your strength. Is that correct? Well, I understand. And while I know, and you should know, that you do not need to prove to anybody who you are, however, I will support you, whatever you choose. Okay then, well, if that's the case, I do have a bit of some advice, I will say. Well, I haven't worked with the Royal Guards very much, just as the apothecary's assistant. To be honest, I just work a lot with potions, but I will say that they do come to us a lot, and so I've gotten a bit of an idea as to what they look like and what they, how they operate. Okay, and you're a bit nervous then? Okay, well, here's my advice. You're going to be you're going to stand out as you are right now because you're a bit too prim and proper. Yes, unfortunately, men within the Royal Guard in particular, while they have the manners, they have their, they know how to serve their king, they are in fact a very raunchy group, and they do stink. It's a bit of a problem, to be honest, and it's part of the reason why the king enlisted our help. But I do think that you should, of all people, you should perhaps grunge yourself a little bit, just so that you're a bit more. I would be worried about you otherwise, because they're going to question you. They're going to wonder, like, who is this new man we've never seen before? And suddenly he wants to be part of the Royal Guards. And, you're very strong. Do not get me wrong. You are incredibly, I've seen you fight with a sword. You are proficient at the very, very least. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go ahead and do a few things to you, something with your hair, your little tussle of hair right there. Yes, I do know that I helped you cut it pretty short, but it has thinned a little bit, hasn't it? Yes, of course, yeah, with the, with the special potions that I've been giving you, it is very normal for the hair to thin. A lot of men, their hair ends up thinning. So really don't worry about it, and it's take it as a sign of maturity, right? Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do, to be honest, is I'm going to brush your hair, not because I want it to look good, right? I'm going to tease it. Do you know what teasing is? No, it is not when I make fun of you. It's been a while since I've made fun of you, but I want to tease your hair so that it looks a bit more frizzy, because the frizzier it is, the more unkempt it looks. And if it looks unkempt, then you'll fit right in. Okay? All right then. Well, let's go ahead and just start teasing your hair a bit. Okay? So, okay. There we go. Let me just hold it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and it is thinning a bit, but it's not too bad, to be honest. You already had, it's not that you had like the biggest head of hair, to be honest, but with the the potions that I was giving you, this is honestly to be expected. Yes. Yeah, I'm just teasing it here and there. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Yeah, because there's a few Royal Guards that come here, and I'll be honest, they are very, very stinky, which we will address, but they also just do not take care of their hair. I think it's because, they're in their armor constantly. They're constantly not, not showering. Do you know what a shower is? You really should. You the correct answer. If you're going to be a man in the Royal Guards, the correct answer is no. You don't know what a shower is. You only know responsibility. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. That's right. That's absolutely right. Okay. Okay. So just teasing that there's a bit more here. There we go. Okay. Okay. I think that looks pretty awful. That's wonderful. So, now that we've done that, we're going to have to go ahead and start working on your face, right? Because I'll be honest here, your eyebrows, they're a bit bushy, which is good, but you need to have most men within the Royal Guard, right? Because you are a man, but you're not a man of the Royal Guard yet, and we want you to be in that. So here's what I'm thinking: you need a bit more roughness within your eyebrows, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, what's the word for it? Tousle them, right? I'm just going to tousle them a little bit. So let's go ahead here. I'm going to get this. This is my, it holds many different uses as an item, but its main purpose for now is going to be to tousle your hairs. Each individual hair is going to go in between these wooden sticks, and then as I tousle them, what it's going to do is it's going to spread the energy of growth from within your eyebrows, and it's going to spread it. So it's going to really make your eyebrows grow in different directions, and we want that, right? Because we want you to look a bit wild. Okay, so you ready? Okay, there we go. Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Yes. Do you remember, when we used to play by the lake? You used to express that you wanted to be a fighter. I just never took you so seriously. Yes, well, at the time, it was very different. And, there was very different societal expectations of me and of you. So, since then, I think you've done a lot of change and a lot of growth. And I'll be honest, I am very impressed. So, I'll be honest, I do think that I'm envious sometimes of your tenacity is really the word I'm looking for here. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, very good, very good. Yes, I do remember you used to always beat me when we'd spar, but to be honest, I was never much of a fighter. I was much better with a bow and arrow. You were a very terrible shot, I will tell you that. But you might have to fix that if you join the Royal Guards. But, the specifics about the actual day-to-day trainings of the Royal Guards do elude me, so I can't help you with that. But I will say, as a little bit of a tip while I'm doing this, when you use the bathroom, right, it's very good. I've heard this from a bunch of the Royal Guards. They like to brag. When they're using the bathroom, they like to brag. And what do they brag about? The size. Not of what you think, but of what comes out. So let's just say that if you end up dropping a big one, you might as well, call your friends in the Royal Guard and have them take a look, take a peek. I think that will cause a lot of bonding. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now I think your eyebrows are going to be much bushier. They already look very bushy, so I think that you are going to be perfect. So next, a lot of the time, the men in the Royal Guards, from what I can see, they're very sleep deprived. So they have very big eye bags. So we're going to have to mimic that, okay? Now, currently, you look well rested, and that's not going to do, right? It's a bit poor, right? So here's what we're going to have to do, okay? We are going to, now let's see, what do I have here that will fix that sort of situation? I could carve. Oh no, it's not going to work. Just because you bleed in that region doesn't necessarily mean, no. Here we go. Here's a potion. I think that might help. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to rub in a few droplets from this, and I'm just right here and right here, right? Just right here and right here. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to help sink into your skin and drop that part of your skin down, and it's going to create the illusion that you are tired, that you have really been fighting constantly. Okay, so I think that is going to work, and these are all really things that the king really wants within his royal guard, so it's really mandatory. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of this on. So, if I remember correctly, there are no instructions on this, which is, to be fair, my mentor, she does not do instructions. So, from what I remember, we need to aerate this a bit. So, let's just aerate it like this. There we go. That's perfect, I think. Okay. So, just a droplet here. Okay. Just aerate it again. Okay. Then a droplet here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe it. Just wiping it on your right here. Okay, perfect. Okay, just my lord. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. It's already starting to take effect. You're looking more disheveled by the second, and that's wonderful. Okay. Anything else? How are you feeling, by the way? Is this working for you? Okay, wonderful. Yes, you were nervous. This is helping. Wonderful. Okay, well, if you want another piece of advice, I saw Connor when he came. Connor is one of the higher ups in the Royal Guards, but he took off his gloves, and I saw the most unsightly thing. I saw chewed up fingernails, and his cuticles were chewed up, and I realized it's no wonder the Royal Guards constantly wear gloves. It's because they're constantly, on edge, and so they're constantly chewing up their own nails and chewing up the cuticles. So I believe you need to have something similar. Okay? So now, here's the thing. I'm not going to chew up your nails and your cuticles for you, right? We are friends, but that is a step too far. So, here is what I think we should do. I am going to take this contraption I have here, and this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take this contraption, and I'm going to cut your fingernails in such a way that it looks, let's say, uneven and a bit erratic. And then while I'm there, I'm just going to slice a bit of your cuticles. Now, it's not going to be a lot. It's not going to hurt, right? Because, I have, admittedly, there's been a few times in my life where I have chewed my own cuticles. It's really a nasty habit, but it is something with that. It does not hurt, so you do not have to worry too much about that, okay? So, if you will give me your hands. Okay. Yes, see, that is too normal. Your hands are too normal for the Royal Guards. Okay, so let's go and... Okay, that's one finger. That's the second. Third there. Fourth. Fifth. Okay, next. Okay. 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 Okay, perfect. Perfect. And now what I'm going to do now again, I'm going to take one. I'm just going to file some of it to be a bit more uneven, okay? And it's going to really leave a bit of dust on your fingers. That's perfect. We want that. So let's go ahead here. Okay, perfect. And give me that finger. I feel like that was a bit too even. Let's go ahead and... Okay, perfect, perfect. That looks wonderful. Okay. 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 Okay, how is it looking? Okay, that one's good. That one's pretty good. That one is, that could be a bit better here. Let me just... That's the third one. Let's just go ahead. Okay. Okay. And the fourth one. Good. What about that one? Yeah, that okay, good. That one. Good. That one needs a bit of work. Okay. And then that one. Good. Good. That one. Good. Good, perfect, perfect, perfect. We've done it. Okay, we'll just put this back. Okay, so from here, now we are going to address the stink in the room. Or let's just say the lack of stink. So, I think we are going to use some incense here. Now, the issue with incense is that it tends to smell good, right? So I have pre-prepared some burnt incense in here already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-burn it. And it's going to give you this smoky smell. And to be honest, I think it's not going to make you stinky. So you're not going to be exactly the same. But you are going to smell outdoorsy. You're going to smell like you camp a lot. So I think that is the main thing that we're going to be going for here. So let me just go ahead and make sure that this is all in tip-top shape. Okay. And let me get the... Okay. So we're going to just get it in here. Yes, raise your arms. I'll get it under your armpits, okay? And then over here. Okay. One more time. Okay. And over here. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. We're going to smell absolutely smoky, and it's going to be perfect. Okay. So now we've got one last thing that we need to address. And I think this is going to be one that maybe you don't like, but to be honest, I think we have to talk about it, and it is your facial hair. So since we've given you those potions, you've started to grow a bit of facial hair, right? But they're a bit fine. They're not, it's not quite bushy. Now, the Royal Guard, because their face ends up being the thing that people mostly see, the king wants at least the face to be a bit shaven, right? So we're going to have to shave a bit of it. Now, I understand that you might be a bit attached to it, but you're going to get a really nice 5 o'clock shadow. Do you understand what a 5 o'clock shadow is? Yes, so you're going to end up getting a bit of a... it's going to feel different on you, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that, because what ends up happening is that if we don't do that, you are going to stand out as the only one with facial hair. And I don't think that that's going to be good, because even though you look a bit scraggly with it, I'll be honest, you do look a bit scraggly. I don't want to... What's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want you to go and then end up feeling like you are looked upon as a lesser purely because you dared to grow your facial hair. Okay, so let's go ahead here, and I have this right here. What we're going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and give you a nice quick shave. Okay, and we're going to do a dry shave here, because what we're doing here is with the dry, it's going to really cut up your skin, and it's going to really, really look awful, which most of the royal guards do look anyway. So let's go ahead and okay. Go ahead. Very good. You're being a very good sport about this. Very, very good. Okay, very good. Yes, very, very good. Now, you might find others that will have a bit of a scraggly beard as well in the Royal Guards, but I'll be honest, they don't last very long, so I'm really glad that we did that. So, now that we've done that, I think you look the part, and so I feel a little bit better about my friend going into the Royal Guards, but you have to promise me that you will be careful, and that you'll be careful. We've been friends for a very long time, since we were young, and I really don't want to see anything bad happen to you. So let's just promise me that you'll be okay, and you'll be good, right? I understand now you are a grown man, and you have been through a lot, and you want to just serve the purpose that you feel like you want to serve. And if you need anything, always come to the apothecary shop. We will take care of you. And, to be honest, if you really want to, if say you don't like it, you want to leave, then we'll hide you. It'll be no problem. Okay? Okay.